Slide, please. So I went over the 5 objectives. There are 6 core elements which enable the Border Patrol to get the job done. It enables us to work within the confines of these 6 core elements. These 6 core elements are elements that all 20 Border Patrol sectors nationwide utilize. All 17,000 plus Border Patrol agents have these core elements to turn to keep the border secure and safe. The first core element is the right combination of personnel, technology, and infrastructure. On the northern border, because of the terrain, because of the tall trees, the vegetation, the trends, challenges that we encounter up here, we rely upon personnel, technology, intelligence, and partnerships. And I'll be getting into intelligence and partnerships here in a minute. Core element number 2 is mobility and rapid deployment of people and resources. Border Patrol agents need to be able to rapidly mobilize and deploy to different sectors that need assistance, or to man-made or natural disasters such as in 9/11 or Hurricane Katrina. Objective, or core element number 3, and this is a very, very important core element. It's a defense in depth using traffic checkpoints and coordinated enforcement operations. The Border Patrol strategy is a layered strategy. These core elements that I'm going over are important core elements, and traffic checkpoints are only one core element that the Border Patrol uses to get the job done. Coordinated enforcement operations rely upon tactical traffic checkpoints, and tactical traffic checkpoints are utilized in coordinated enforcement operations. Next slide, please. Core element number 4 is partnerships with other law enforcement agencies. Again, the Border Patrol partners with other law enforcement agencies to enhance its effectiveness. Agents are assigned to multi-jurisdictional task forces in the Northwest, as well as in this area nationwide. There's agents working on multi-jurisdictional task forces. Some of these task forces would include OPNET, the Olympic Peninsula Narcotics Enforcement Task Force. We have agents on the Northwest Border Task Force, Skagit County Interlocal, let me back it up, Skagit County Interlocal Drug Enforcement Unit. We also have agents working with the ATF, DEA, as well as the Coast Guard. Core element number 4 is border awareness and intelligence. Knowledge is key. Knowledge is a key in keeping the border secure and safe. The Border Patrol today is intelligence-driven. We collect, gather, classify, as well as analyze intelligence and disseminate this information and intelligence to the proper law enforcement agencies and or units that would best benefit from the collection of this intelligence. The last core element is a centralized chain of command for communication, to streamline communications, as well as for accountability purposes. Next slide, please. These are the different types of enforcement methods and tools of the trade that we use nationwide. We use line watch, roving patrol, transportation check, law enforcement agency calls, BORCAP, which I'll get into in a couple of minutes. It means Border Patrol Criminal Alien Apprehension Program, partnerships with other law enforcement agencies, as well as tactical traffic checkpoints. Tactical traffic checkpoints are only one of the different elements that we utilize to keep the border secure. Next slide, please. Checkpoints. The Border Patrol's national strategy to secure our nation's borders is based on a defense-in-depth philosophy. This includes the use of interior checkpoints to interdict terrorists, illegal narcotics, and illegal aliens attempting to egress away from the border area into the interior portions of our nation. The focus on checkpoints is actually a derivative of something larger, and that is, it's a derivative of the National Border Patrol strategy. Like I was saying earlier, Border Patrol checkpoints are only one of the 6 core elements that the Border Patrol utilizes to keep the border secure and safe. Next slide, please. Fingerprint identification. Of almost 750,000 apprehensions nationwide, there were over 17,000 criminal aliens identified and removed through the use of fingerprint identification. The crimes associated within those arrests include murder, sexual assault, kidnapping, assault, and robbery. Next slide, please. These are our sectors from 2008 down to 2003. In 2008, we apprehended 954 individuals from 37 different countries. In 2007, 749 apprehensions, and there were people from 32 different countries. So we apprehend people from all over the world. Next slide, please. Border Patrol Criminal Alien Apprehension Program. In 2008, we apprehended 268 individuals. We took these individuals out of local jails. U.S. Border Patrol agents go out to the local jails, check them, and make sure there aren't any foreign-born individuals in these jails that have committed crimes. If there are, these individuals will be removed from your community. In 2007, we apprehended 277 individuals out of local jails. Next slide, please. This is the maritime-related seizures from 1999 to 2008. This includes the Olympic Peninsula, San Juan Islands, Birch Bay and Chimacum, Bellingham, Anacortes, and Whidbey Island. Next slide. Special interest terrorists. These three individuals up here have a link to the Blaine sector. I'm sure all of you have heard of Abu Mezer. Anybody here ever hear of Abu Mezer? No show of hands? 1, 2, 3, okay. Abu Mezer was actually arrested in Brooklyn, New York, building bombs to blow up the subway system in New York. The next individual is Ahmed Bassam. Anybody ever hear of him? Ahmed Bassam was arrested at the Port Angeles ferry terminal with bomb-making material, timers, as well as explosives, and he was on his way to blow up the Los Angeles airport. We also have John Lee Malvo, one of the DC Beltway snipers. And next slide, please. And this is Ahmed Bassam with his equipment that he was bringing over. Last slide. This is our mission, the Border Patrol mission. As a primary federal law enforcement agency between the ports of entry, the Border Patrol's mission is to prevent the entry of terrorists and their weapons of terrorism, to enforce the laws that protect America's homeland by the detection, interdiction, and apprehension of those who attempt to illegally enter or smuggle any person or contraband across our nation's sovereign borders. That's the presentation, and we'll move on to the next presentation.